Subscribe now and you'll get a free Nintendo Switch 2. $450. Forget I said anything. Finally we got the long-awaited reveal of Nintendo Switch 2 console. And it's bigger than the first Nintendo Switch. Kinda like you. That's why you're on a diet. You're bigger than my Nintendo Switch. Anyway, You're really distracting. Anyway, I thought I'd make a little video about the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal because I've been really looking forward to that because I'm a huge fan of Nintendo Switch. Last two generations, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, whatever, X1, Xbox Series X. I've been kinda liking my Nintendo Switch more than those consoles. And Nintendo Switch has primarily been my kind of indie machine, so I like playing my indie games on that, although the loading times can be a bitch compared to PlayStation 5. I'm looking at you, Broforce and R-Type 2 Final. Anyway, Nintendo Switch 2, that was revealed yesterday. This video might not be coming out Thursday though, might be Friday. I'm gonna try to get this out as fast as I can because Nintendo Switch 2 is right now the hot commodity. Well, let's start with the system itself. It's bigger, it's got 7.9 inch screen where the Nintendo Switch had 6 point something. It's bigger. The Joy-Cons are bigger. There's a new button. The minute I saw that new button, I already kind of sniffed it out. It was gonna be a button that I ain't gonna give two shits about. The C button. I figured it was some kind of, connect or something like that, but it's chat. Basically same shit, different name. As a single player guy, that button is about as much fun as a cheese grater when you're masturbating. Also, they throw in their little Nintendo webcam, so you can get your actual face there when you're chatting with people, which is, again, a thing I ain't gonna do anything with, so screw that. I don't think they mentioned it, but I do believe that camera's gonna be a separate buy. Obviously, it's Nintendo. Well, any company would sell those separately, because it's more money. So yeah, fuck the C button, fuck the camera. Don't care. Actually, when I think about it, this didn't really offer me too much new, but it is more powerful machine. Now if you're playing in handheld mode, it's got 1080p screen and it can apparently do 120 frames per second, which we all know is kind of it's marketing bullshit usually. PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X can do those too, but how many games actually do that? Not too many. From what I know, I'm not professional at this, but not too many. Also, when it comes to handheld mode, I barely ever use it, so that's kind of wasted feature on me. So, again, 99.9% of the time I play my Nintendo Switch when it's docked. So, yeah, I use it like a regular console. But now when it's in docked mode, it can do 4K and 120 frames per second. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo's own games could do that, because Nintendo kind of likes to keep their games simplistic graphically and kind of fun looking and all that, and they've always been really smooth. Nintendo's first party games have always run best on Nintendo Switch consoles, so they might work, possibly, who knows, but wouldn't be surprised if they don't, but wouldn't be surprised if they do, because Nintendo really likes to polish their games and make sure they run perfectly. I tip my hat for Nintendo for that. Their first party games, they're smooth usually. Also, the dock now has built-in fans, so it'll keep your Nintendo Switch nice and cool, which is cool. Joy-Cons, now they don't connect with those rails where you have to insert those. Now they have magnets, and apparently they're pretty stiff magnets, so a lot of people were wondering if they might break off easily, but from the video they do look sturdy, so I have faith in that. Still, I don't know. Kids, especially if you have kids and you're thinking about buying this machine for your kids, kids fuck up everything. They'll break anything, so I guess you're just fucked. But me, I'm buying it for myself, and I'm a responsible adult, so I ain't gonna break it. Unless I'm drunk, but that's a whole different story. Basically, when it comes to the system itself, I'm okay with 1080p, I'm okay with 720p. I mean, I still watch old DVDs, so I don't really give that much, crap about picture looking all, 4Ks and clean like that. I don't care really that much, but it's cool to have that. But 1080p, I'm like good. 1080p, 60 frames per second, 2K is good too, I don't mind 2Ks. 2K. Did I say 2 gays? 2K is fine with me. I'm cool with 2K also. So, but there was one feature that I'm actually really looking forward to, and that is the Joy-Cons working as mouse. Now you might ask, well, why the fuck aren't you playing with your PC more then? Well, I don't like playing with my PC. Fucking computer monitors give me headache, and the keyboard fucking sucks. That sucks. I don't care what people say about first-person shooters with the button. It sucks. Keyboard sucks. Keyboard shouldn't be used in games in any way, except if you're hitting your co-player when they're cheating. That's the only thing where keyboard's good. Keyboard can suck it, unless it's a game where you have to type in stuff. Who plays games like that? Well, I do, because I play old games sometimes, you know, those old adventure games where you had to actually type. Anyway, keyboard. Mouse though. Many times I've been kind of pondering if I should buy mouse for my, it was back in PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4, but I never got to it. But now, mouse is actually included with Nintendo Switch 2, and it's the Joy-Cons, and they both work as a mouse, which is cool, because I'm really looking forward to, I saw they announced some games. There was Civilization 7. So, yeah, those games with controllers, not the best experience of my life. Some of them work, you know, XCOM games. I played a lot of XCOM games. Controller works great there, or at least alright. So, yeah, but mouse would be better. Also, I still haven't bought Jazz Alliance 3. Maybe they'll port that to Nintendo Switch 2 and give it mouse support. That would be fucking awesome. The mouse thing is what kind of solved this for the most for me. Because of those certain type of games, which I have been ignoring way too long, because, yeah, like I said, I'm a console gamer, and some things with controller are just not up to par where I'd like it to be. So yeah, the mouse feature is pretty goddamn exciting. Yeah, that's the thing I'm looking for the most. Now they did have some games that utilize the mouse coming, and you can actually, they have gyroscopes, the Joy-Cons, so you can actually twist your mouse, and the thing you're doing on the screen actually twists kind of too. So that's kind of neat feature. I'm not actually sure if that's in any way useful. It might be when I get to use it, just distracting, and I'm gonna turn it off. If you can turn it off, I don't know. Who knows? I'm kind of 50-50, you know. Part of me is kind of looking forward to that, and part of me is kind of like, is this gonna be fucking annoying? But yeah, that was pretty much the whole console, unless I'm forgetting something. It has 256 gigabytes of room, so that's 8 times more than the first Nintendo Switch. That's good. It doesn't sound a lot, but that's still good. My first Switch, it has the, you know, capacity. It has, what was it, like 32 gigabytes or something? I can't remember the exact number, but something like that. Also, I do have memory card in it, and I don't remember ever having to delete games, and I played a lot. But then again, I buy physical, so they require the little cartridge, so part of the game is in there, apparently, so you're not gonna need that much room. And yeah, physical collecting. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. Also, there's backwards compatibility, but apparently it doesn't go for every game. I'm just wondering how wide that support is. That would be great to know. Is it like a PlayStation 5? Where games that didn't work from PlayStation 4 were just like handful, and they were mostly the most awful shit you could find? Or is it gonna be more like Xbox Series X, where backwards compatibility was the big thing, but when you do look at it, you know, more closely, there's a lot of games missing. So yeah, I wasn't sold on that. Some people were always like, we got backwards compatibility, blah blah blah. Well, it sucked. Kinda, halfway. It was half-assed. But to be fair, you could play some games from the original Xbox and Xbox 360. On PlayStation, you couldn't play the first 3 PlayStation games, so yeah, you got that beat there, but it wasn't perfect. I don't think they announced the price here, but I heard from Twitter that it's $450, somewhere around there, so that was kind of what I was expecting. 400, 450, you know. It's kind of there, teetering on the edge if it's a bit too painful of price, but yeah, I get it. Everything's more expensive now, inflation and all that kind of crap, so 450, that's not gonna be a deal breaker for me. Also, there's new Pro controller, which is, well, it looked very similar to the old Pro controller. Have they done any limited editions from Pro controllers? Because that just black, it's kind of boring. I've had that. I always been waiting for another Pro controller, which could look, way better, so I could buy a second one, but no. And now the new Pro controller's coming out and it's just black, and well, it has the C button, which is gonna be for me personally as useless as dick in a diving contest. But it also did have those two, I believe those are programmable buttons where you can put some kind of button commands. I've never had controller like that. I've had keyboards that have those extra buttons where you can program some kind of button presses or something like that, so that's gonna be cool. You don't have to buy separately some Elite $200. Well, let's not talk about the price yet. It is my understanding that we still don't know how much the Pro controller is gonna cost for the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm guessing it might be like 90 or 100 because the old Pro controller, that's like 70. It's been so long since I bought that. Back then when I bought it, I think it was like 70, 69 something. But yeah, that was basically the hardware. Then there are the games. Mario Kart World, they showed that first. I'm excited to get back into Mario Kart. Mario Kart's great. They had to put in the open world feature there. I know, it's modern days, modern things, Open world is something people are usually looking forward to, but me, just when it comes to Mario Kart, I usually, like 99% of the time I'm playing it with my friends, drunk. We just want to pick some kind of cup or tournament, have those 4 races, maybe 5 races, and be on our way. So the idea of all the tracks being there and you have to drive between them, they wouldn't be so stupid that they'd make you drive if you're playing with friends and you just want to drive those tournaments or cups. Would they? They wouldn't. I'm sure you can just pick a certain tournament and that's it. I'm sure. But we'll just have to wait and see, and yeah, I'm definitely gonna buy that. Probably. But it does have like 24 racers, so I do like when there's a lot of racers. I'm just thinking how the weapons are gonna work. Does that mean the person who's first is gonna get 23 blue shells bombarded at him constantly all the time? That's gonna suck. So I don't know how that works, how they balance that out. It's gonna be interesting. But yeah, Mario Kart. That's probably gonna be a big seller for Nintendo. It always is, and yeah, I'm looking forward to actually getting into it, but I do have some worries. Then they introduced the Switch 2 versions of Zeldas, Zelda Tears of Kingdom, and whatever the other one was. Those Zelda games, but they have a Nintendo Switch update. If you own the original, you can update, but apparently that update is gonna cost $20, which, yeah, I'm skipping that. Fuck that. Fuck your updates. I ain't gonna pay for that. I played those games through already. Well, I haven't played the second Zelda, and I don't know, I wasn't really that into building stuff. Yeah, screw that. Kirby also has that Switch 2 version, which added extra level or extra world or something like that. I really love Kirby, so yeah, I'm kind of interested, but yeah, I'm not gonna pay that $20. I'm just gonna play something else. It's not like I'm running out of choices, so fuck that. Metroid Prime 4, it's gonna get Nintendo Switch version and Nintendo Switch 2 version, so yeah, that one, if I'm gonna get it, I'm obviously gonna buy the Nintendo Switch 2 version. I'm just not gonna put my money in the Nintendo Switch version. Why would I? Then they introduced Drag and Drive, which is kind of like Nintendo Switch's 1-2 switch. I feel like it's the gimmick thing where you get to use those new features, which here is mouse, basically. And the gyroscope, well, the Nintendo Switch has those gyro thingies, so yeah, it's wheelchair basketball, where you have to use the mouse to, roll your tires. Well, if it's like $20, yeah, I might try it, but other than that, I'm not really interested. It did look kind of, interesting experiment with the mouses, because you have 2 mouses, and also you had to use the gyroscope to throw the ball, take your hands and the ball goes somewhere, depends where you're throwing it. So it looks interesting, but it's just gonna be interesting little tech demo game, pretty much, kind of like the 1-2 switch. So yeah, I don't feel like that's gonna offer hours on end fun. Unless it's cheap as shit, I ain't touching that. Elden Ring is coming, Hades 2 is coming, I haven't played either. Hades, I was kind of interested, at least in the first one, but I kind of forgot about that too, so I don't know. Elden Ring, I'm not a Souls player, Also, From Software, they announced another game for Nintendo Switch, which was the Duskbloods, which is some kind of vampire game, but it's From Software. If it's gonna be like a Souls type game, I'm really not interested. Unless it's Armored Core, I'm not interested in From Software games. It's just, those are not my jam. Nope, I'm skipping those. Armored Core? That one I take. That's definitely their best series they've ever done, and probably ever will. Split Fiction's coming. I don't know. I liked their previous game, but I didn't even finish that. It was fun, but like I said, I'm mostly single player guy. I kind of like to enjoy games on my own without any hassle from other people. I don't want to care about other people when I'm concentrating on gameplay. So I might get it. Who knows? But then again, I'd probably get the PlayStation 5 version. So EA Sports games are coming. Who gives a shit? Hogwarts Legacy is coming. Don't really care. If I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna buy the PlayStation 5 version. I'm just kind of waiting when I see it in a store with good sale, and then I might take it, but don't really care. Tony Hawk's 3+4, I still don't have 1+2, I still want to get those, but yeah, I was waiting for a sale and I forgot about those, so maybe at some point, but probably gonna buy those for PlayStation 5. Hitman, World of Assassination, I love Hitman games, but I don't know. Probably just gonna skip that. I played Hitman 3, that was the last one I played. I played that on my Xbox Series X. It was good, but I don't know. But the same company did announce Project 007, which is gonna be a James Bond game. That one, I'm gonna keep my eye on. That one sounds like it could be good. Old James Bond games were fun, you know, those PlayStation 1 games, and GoldenEye for Nintendo 64, although I played that way later in my life, so it didn't really have that impact on me, but the PlayStation 1 James Bond games. PlayStation 2 also had that Agent Under Fire or something like that, but I never played that. It looked good, but never got to it. I do hope they, when they make that James Bond game, they keep the aesthetics of the game kind of like the older James Bond movies, not with that Daniel Craig, Jason Bourne crap. I'm not fan. You know, for me, James Bond died when Pierce Brosnan retired. So, man, I do hope they go with a bit more campy and a bit more fun and with weird gadgets and all that shit like the old Bonds had. Predator Default Remaster, I played the second one. I liked it, but I never finished it. It just, at some point, the grinding just got kind of lame for me, and I took a little break and never went back. Hyrule Warriors, which is another one of those Dynasty Warriors style games. I really loved the new Dynasty Warriors games that came. Dynasty Warriors Origins, that was fantastic, but those are the type of games where I don't want to play too many of those in a year, because they are kind of button mashing, so one experience a year, or maybe 2 years, or maybe 3 years is enough. Anyway, I'm not gonna go over all the games. They're gonna port a lot of games. You know, NBA 2K, WWE 2K, those are coming, and a lot of other games are coming that are already on other consoles, so I'm really not that interested about those. There was new Kirby Air Riders. I haven't played the original, but is that kind of racing game? Because that would be weird, because they already had Mario Kart, so having another racing game, that's... I don't know what Kirby Air Ride's about. There was a new Donkey Kong game, Bonanza. That looked kind of interesting. It was 3D platformer, but you could break the environments, you know, all the walls, the ground, and all that, like in Red Faction. That looked interesting. I do like my 3D platformers, but that's gonna add in some new mechanics that are gonna be really interesting. So yeah, I'm gonna keep my eye on that. But probably the game I'm looking for the most that they announced there was actually a sequel to Demon Ex Machina, however you say that. Demon Ex Machina Titanic Scion. And yeah, that looked really cool, because I'm really into mech games, and it's one of those fast-paced, kind of like Armored Core. I love that style. I love the slow styles too, you know, like Mech Warriors. But that one, yeah, I never finished the first one though. I played it, but again, I think I moved on to some other game and I never went back, which I've actually lately been thinking I kind of want to hop back into that one and actually play it more and possibly finish it, but now I don't know. I might just wait for the sequel and get that. But now that we've got the games out of the way, let's talk about the game pricing. Apparently, digital games are going to be $80, which is steep, but physical games, well, they're going to be $90. I knew it was kind of unavoidable, but game prices, they're shooting up. And rumors are that GTA 6, when it comes out, they're gonna put that $100 sticker on that. $90 for physical games, and these are Nintendo Switch games, so you know the price ain't ever gonna come down. Because Nintendo Switch games, the current Switch we have, they're still like Super Mario All-Stars Brawl, whatever fucking thing, that's still like 60, 70. The pricing fucking sucks. The console, $450, that's kinda up there. It's flirting with the line where I go like, I gotta have it, and maybe I can wait. But the games, $90. And I'm a collector. I like my games in physical form. So yeah, I'm not gonna say that $10 just to get a digital. I don't give two shits about digital games. Sometimes I buy them if there's no other choice, or if I have a temporal brain fart, something like that. I don't know, but usually I go for the physical version. The pricing is fucked. Overall, I'd say the Nintendo Direct where they announced Nintendo Switch 2 was... The console didn't make me jump from joy, but the mouse feature for some games, that one I'm really looking forward to. But other than that, it's just more powerful Nintendo Switch. I'm cool with that. Nintendo Switch still feels like a console. PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, they feel like mini PCs. Yeah, Nintendo is the only one who still has that console feel, so I'm digging that, but pricing's kinda bitch. I still have to think about things. Game prices, $90 for physical. Games that were announced, Mario Kart, like I said, I have some worries, but I'm kinda looking forward to that. There's the Kirby's Air Riders. I'm gonna have to check what kind of game the original Kirby Air Ride is, and keep an eye on that. Donkey Kong, it looked interesting, probably gonna get that. And then there's Daemon X Machina, which that one I'm actually looking forward for the most. But other than that, I don't really know. It was kinda but it had some good. Mostly it had stuff that I don't really give a shit. So yeah, as a Nintendo Direct, I'm gonna give this 6 out of 10. The 6 points pretty much come because we finally got Nintendo Switch 2 announced, and Daemon X Machina, a little bit of Mario Kart, a little bit of Donkey Kong, and the most Joy-Cons. Anyway, fuck off, and I'm just gonna fuck off too, and we'll meet back here when I upload more crap. And what do you think about the whole Nintendo Direct? Did you like it? The pricing? It sucks. Yeah. Or did you like the pricing? I don't know. Maybe you're one of those weirdos who have too much money. Good for you then. I could use some. If you want to donate. I didn't have any ways you can donate to this channel, but we'll figure something out. I don't know. I'll hop on a bus, come there, and I'll take a big bag. You can fill it. How's that sound? Anyway, I'm just gonna switch off and go take a number 2. Got Switch and 2 there. Goodbye.